In this lesson, we're going to take our 3D model that we've made in SOLIDWORKS and we're actually going to put it on a drawing. So unlike other softwares, this requires a different internal application. So we have to change some of the settings here, and I'm just going to follow along here. And we're just changing a couple minor things here. So the tangent edges, we're just going to remove that. So I already turned that off, so you see it right here. And then, so from visible to removed, press OK. You can always change this later if you want to. And so what we're going to do then is make a drawing from part. And it is asking us, are we going to link it? So here's one that I already made. So what you'll do is you go to File, New, and you're going to select Drawing. All right, and so do the drawing. A couple different ways to do this, but this is it's asking, it's telling you what the ANSI and the ISO. So just go ahead and follow this. It's essentially the size paper that you're working on with, and we want, in this case, it's going to be 8.5 by 11. So we don't want to have the standard boxes, and we're going to do the landscape. All right, you'll notice it says on the bottom right below the preview, it says 8.5 by 11. All right, so there it is. And this is going to be where we're going to place our drawing. So there's some things we have to keep doing here to set this up in terms of the detailing. You really set this up once and you don't really need to do this that often. All right, so in the tools here, it's saying go to the options and the detailing properties. So I'm going to scroll down here and get to the options. You notice it's the exact same one that we've been working on from the icon. Just a different way to access it. And the document properties, we're going to go to the detailing, and we're going to then, we're turning the center marks off. We're going to turn them on later, so it's just trying to show you what that's all about. And say OK. And then we're then on the palette here. We're going to do some things, but what you want to do here is select this. And it looks like a small drawing. Once you select that, it's actually going to be where the drawing is here. So if you don't see it right away, I've been playing around with it, so I turned it off. But we can access it here. There it is. This is the one we want. And so on the top, you're going to see it. So let's just confirm it. So there's my first part. Okay, so you'll notice that once we get this going here, come on, update. All right, just following the drawing here. It's trying to drag it in right now, actually, but I want to show you the preview of where it's getting it here. So let's just make sure that we do this correct. All right, it's asking for little things to do beforehand in the display section. There it is. So just click on, there's my part. Make sure your part is there. And you'll notice below it is the top view, front view, right view, and your typical orthographic drawings. And so all you do is essentially grab it and drag it. All right, so I'm going to take the top view, we're going to drag it, and there it is. Now, what we're going to have to do is change some of the settings. And you'll notice on the left, you can do a lot. You can override a lot of this. And so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to select the hidden lines, removed, and then the scale, we're going to do that here. You always want to have a scale drawing if it's not obviously one-to-one, but we need to know what it is. Otherwise, you'll say drawing not to scale, but whenever you can scale it, you want to scale it. So we selected 1:2. And then what we're going to do is create a section view. Section view is when you split an object in half. So on the top ribbon, you'll see the section, and it's already set up. Just make sure it's in the center. And then what you do is you essentially approve it, click it, and then you'll move the mouse to the right or the top, wherever you want it. In this case, we're going to move it to the right. Make sure that it's in the orientation that you desire. So you'll see flip direction here, and this is the view that you want to show. And so those hash marks are the section view. It's doing that for us automatically. And I'm going to move this up because we don't want to be submitting drawings that have text that are on top of other text and lines. You want to make sure it's nice and clean. So I'll be as I do this drawing, I'll be moving things around as I go. Okay, so what we're going to do here then is do a detail. So this is like a not an exploded view, but it's zooming in. So then I'm going to go here and I'm going to make a detailed view of this part. And because it's kind of small, so dimensions, so I'll go ahead and select it. And then it'll automatically generate that drawing for me, and I'll move it to the right. I'm basically following this instructions on the right screen here. Actually, I'm trying to follow it exactly. Okay, so there it is. We can move it around as we need. And continuing on here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a isometric view. So we're going to go ahead and set that up here. And we'll just go next on the arrow up above. And we're just having a little bit more options here. So go ahead and select next. And it's asking us what kind of view do we want to do. And we're going to do an isometric. And we'll select that. And then what is going to be displayed is shaded and what have you. So we want to do shaded. And so then the other thing is it wants to know the scale. We're going to do a custom and make it 1 to 2. So select that 1 to 2. All right, and then you should just drop it. It looks huge right now, but that's okay. It's just the representing where it is, and so there it is. Now, it's important that you never lose the model file because this is just a proxy. It's a representation of that model that you made. So make sure that you've saved that. They always have to be together, otherwise you open it up, your drawing, it doesn't pull from anything. So now we're going to put that center mark. We turned it off, but we're going to go ahead and manually dimension it. So the center mark, click the center mark, and then we're going to select the outside circles here, and it should do them all at once because we've joined them. So we'll select the outside circle, either one actually inside of the outside. And you can see it's already done here, so we're in good shape. And then we clicked, it's rotated around. So we're showing that it's centered. And then what we're going to do is add some dimensions here. All right, so center line. So to create the center line, we just select the, in this case, the top and the bottom. It's the opposite sides of the cylinder of the ID, inside diameter. All right, we're going to do 3 of them here. We're doing the section views. All right. And so we're going to need to start adding some dimensions here. So really, I should be spreading this out. 8.5 by 11 is awful small for a drawing. Usually 11 by 17 is the smallest, but we'll make this work. And so let's make sure we're in millimeters because it was in imperial and inches. We want to make sure this is in metric. And so it's saying, what it's saying here is, uh-oh, you need to update this. So we're just going to refresh it. That's what that is saying. So we refreshed it, so it's all good. And now we'll start to add some dimensions here. So we can do the same as we've been doing when we built it. We hit this smart dimension, and we're essentially just going to do the radiuses here. And we'll select each one, and then after we do the radiuses, we're going to have to put some of our own additional information on there. So what I really should do is change the settings in advance, but we'll just go through here because you'll notice that they're a little bit, we don't need the tenths and hundredths. So we can just do them manually, each one, but afterwards maybe I'll just go ahead and set that up. I should probably move things, give myself more room, but let's just go ahead and build this as it is. So I'm going to select none. All right, and I'll do that to these. So you want to do none, but you also want to have the, let's see here. All right. It's actually better to do this in the settings in advance. Okay, so let's keep going through here. We've got 4 of them to do. I will be moving this section A out of the way. And so, and then you can always move them after you put them down. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do put them on the top. You want to try to space them out. You really want to avoid text going over other parts whenever you can avoid it. So let's just get these dimensions in here and then we'll clean it all up. All right, so we're pretty much done here with these dimensions. We'll clean all this up in a minute, but you've brought this in and we've dimensioned this. And so make sure you save it and we will continue on in the next lesson.